In the energy quadrant today, massive rally in crude oil with WTI over 6% higher on the highs, Brent over 4% higher on the highs. This type of a move is generally geopolitical. You've got short covering involved, what was remaining in the short covering, because it is actually the third consecutive session up for crude oil. But this particular session is much more of a geopolitically led breakout, with WTI getting up over $57 a barrel on the highs. The U.S.-Iran tensions, obviously what spiked this past the point of no return. Iran shot down a U.S. drone today, which again the U.S. said was over international waters. Iran said it was over their airspace, and President Trump called it a very big mistake over Twitter. Later on at a press conference he had with an international leader present, said that it might have been a mistake, it might have been a rogue general. He can't see how they would possibly do this deliberately. This is completely overshadowing a big 3% move in natural gas, simply because the size of the move. And again, as I mentioned, WTI was 6% higher, Brent only 4% higher. And the strange thing about that is this must be speculatively led, simply because the spread between Brent and WTI is actually compressing. Now, if this Middle Eastern tension is going to cause an interruption in the supply of crude oil, Brent should be higher than WTI. Brent would pull WTI up with it, but Brent isn't up as high as WTI. Now, Brent did lead in the earlier indications of tension between Iran and the U.S., but if there's going to be exacerbated military action in the Persian Gulf between the U.S. and Iran and any of the other allies who are all, at least in the short term, been siding with the U.S., that would affect Brent price in terms of supply more so than WTI. So what you're seeing is covering of WTI speculators and potentially movement of more speculators into WTI crude. That is the more speculative market of the two, hence the compression of that spread. That spread is actually in about 14% in the last few days, in under $7, where it previously moved out past $9. So, and that was at the initial onset of geopolitical tensions. So the spread is definitely something to watch. If you see that spread expand a little bit more, then you can imply from that the military possibilities are getting more and more realistic in crude oil.